Chapter 5. He was wrong. Nobody wanted to tell me the truth, but I figured it out anyway. My daddy committed suicide. With everything going on, he felt he couldn't go on. He left a letter saying that my mom leaving was his last straw. He said there was no way I could be the man that he needed. He was wrong. He was more than the man I needed. I asked my TD, why does everyone keep leaving me? I just don't understand. My TD was in town to help plan my daddy's services and take care of family business. TD didn't really like my mom, and as time went on, I figured out why. Everyone would look at me and just hug me. I guess they all felt sorry for me. My TD never really answered my question. However, she took me shopping and allowed me to buy anything I wanted. I guess that was her way of consoling me. I bought dolls and some pretty shoes with glitter for the funeral. Daddy hated glitter. LOL. My dad's funeral wasn't like Papa's. It was a big funeral, but it was only one day. The band came and we danced, but for some reason, I didn't feel that joyous feeling in my heart. My daddy was a troubled soul, and I guess he turned into a troubled spirit. After the funeral, my mom took me to the house to try to get a few things. My mom and TD argued outside so badly that I thought it would come to blows. She said my mom was not welcome at the house. She couldn't even go inside to get my stuff. I never saw TD act like that. It was wild. My mom and her friend just pulled off. That was my last time seeing the house or my TD. Life in my new house with my new life was strange. My mom tried her best to make things normal for me, but it was hard. We lived in a huge house in a neighborhood where you rarely saw kids. There was a police officer at the entrance, and every car that entered the subdivision was scanned. I had my own room, and baby Eli had his own as well. I remember my mom took me to the store so that I could decorate my room. She told me I could have any room I wanted, and I chose a princess room. I always felt like I was daddy's princess anyway. As time passed, I started to learn that mommy's friend wasn't just her friend. He was actually her boyfriend. And I found out later that she had been living with him for over a year. She met him while my daddy was in the hospital and had been seeing him ever since. He was actually the CEO of the rehab center. All this time, I thought my mom was working. She wasn't. She was living with Mr. Eric. She eventually explained everything to me one day. She said that sometimes people fall out of love. She says that Mr. Eric was there for her when she needed him, and that's what made her fall in love. So all of that arguing was because of Mr. Eric and not my dad? At this point, I was 6, but I was sharp. All of the heartache made me mature, so I knew what she was doing was wrong. From that point on, I hated my mom. She abandoned my daddy when he needed her and forced him to be even more depressed. I hated her, but she was all I had. She and Mr. Eric were the only people left to take care of me. Me and baby Eli grew up good. Eli called him daddy and I called him Mr. E. As much as I wanted to hate him, I couldn't. Mr. E was nice. In fact, as I look back, Mr. E was the one who always gave me a bag of Skittles when I used to visit my daddy. I didn't know it then, but now it all makes sense. My mom wanted someone to give her a luxurious life, and Mr. E was the one. Mr. E bought my mom a brand new Audi truck, straight from the dealership. My mom was still young and beautiful, and besides, this is the life she always wanted. Eric gave her the life she thought my dad would give her. I started a new school the next year. It was first grade and my first time going to school with white people. We had white teachers, we went on field trips, and we went to church as a class on Fridays. This was way different than my time at Baby Ben. It was fun, but it was different. We used to bring our own lunch to this school, and guess what? There was even a microwave in there to warm up our lunches. This was like some TV stuff, but I liked it. Home life was good, but different as well. Mom ended up having 2 more kids, a son, Eric, and a daughter, Elena. A family of 4 quickly turned to a party of 6. Every year we traveled to another country. We were living a lavish life, and I was starting to love it. I traveled to 17 countries by the time I was 15. In fact, I'm still dying to get back to Paris. As much as I tried to fight it, I couldn't shake the person I was becoming. My life was finally starting to feel like something worth living, and I loved it. Chapter 6. Rakim. In 10th grade, I begged my mom to let me start hanging out with my friends. She agreed, and every weekend I would be gone. I needed a break from all those kids anyway. My best friend was a girl named Irie. She and I played on a travel volleyball team together. She lived uptown, not too far from my house, so I couldn't wait to get to her house on weekends. Ari lived in the Magnolia Projects. Her neighborhood was always exciting. Something was always going on. We would just sit outside on the porch and watch the boys. Luckily, her porch faced the basketball court, so we had the best seats in the house. I didn't have a boyfriend at the time, but I felt like I was ready. I was young, but I knew I was something serious. I had a shape that people would pay for and a face that most girls dreamt of. All of the boys at school liked me, but they weren't ready for me. Honestly, I wasn't even ready for me. I needed someone that was on the street. The good old boys from St. Ben were cute and rich, but they could never give me what I wanted. One day, as I was walking to Ari's house, I saw this boy trying to get my attention. I recognized him from the basketball court, but I couldn't let him know I did. He said, "Hey, beautiful, I know you hear me calling you." I heard him, but I pretended that I was listening to my beats. I felt him coming up closer as he hit a light jog. "Excuse me, beautiful. My name Keem." I pulled my beats down and said, "Huh?" He repeated, "My name is Rakeem. How are you today, beautiful?" "I see you around. You kin to Ari?" "No, she's my teammate and best friend." "Oh, so you play that volleyball stuff too?" I said, "Yes, I play volleyball, and I'm good. You better ask somebody." He said, "Well, excuse me, Missy." His smile showed off his dimples. For a minute, he reminded me of my daddy. "Well, I just wanted to talk to you. I hope I see you again, volleyball lady." When he walked off, I couldn't help but stare a bit, and I guess he felt me staring because he turned and said, "You never told me your name." "Oh, yeah, I'm Honesty." When I got to Ari's house, I couldn't wait to tell her about Keem. She was so excited when she heard. Ari and Keem went to school together. They both went to Carver. Keem was a basketball star at the school. Just like my daddy, Keem had all kinds of colleges checking for him, and he was only a junior. She says Keem would always ask about me, and she would always tell him he needs to ask me. And I guess that day he did. I saw him every weekend after that. It was so bad at some point that I started skipping volleyball practice to be with him. One late evening, I remember my mom calling me to come home. It was too late for me to get on a bus, so Mr. Eric came to pick me up. I didn't have to catch the bus, but I liked to. It gave me a chance to be connected to the real world. Me and Keem were sitting on the porch when a car pulled up. Mr. Eric drove a black on black G Wagon, so he would easily get attention. When he pulled up to the house, Keem got up and walked to the car. I looked confused as to why he would do that. Come to find out, they knew each other. Keem dapped him and said, "I'll see you later, Ani." I screamed in the screen door to tell Ari I was leaving and to lock the door. "So you mess with him?" "Huh?" "If you can, huh, you can hear. So I'm asking you, do you mess with the dude?" "No, Mr. E, he's just my friend. He was waiting outside with me until you got there. He usually walks me to the bus stop too." "Oh, okay. Well, you need to be careful who you hanging around. Bullets don't have names." The fuck is he talking about? I rolled my eyes and said, "Okay." He doesn't know Keem. Keem is a star player at the school. Mr. E thinks everyone is a gangster. He's overprotective of us, but I can't blame him. Lately, so many girls were murdered because of the guys they hung with, and he wanted to make sure I wasn't one of them. As soon as I got home, I text Keem that I made it home. "I'm home, Keem." "Okay, sweetie. I didn't know Big E was your daddy." "That's not my daddy." "And how do you know him?" "I know him from around the way, that's all. He's like an uptown legend." "Oh, okay. Well, good night." "Okay, night." Chapter 7. It's time. Me and Keem started to get serious. As time went on, I felt like I was finally ready to have sex. I did the touch thing before, but never more than that. I was a junior in high school and ready to finally have sex with my boyfriend. I told my mom I would be sleeping by Ari for the tournament. We usually travel to other cities, so me going out of town was nothing new. My mom never really came to my games, so the lie would be perfect. I made such a big deal about the game in Biloxi that I actually started believing I had a game in Biloxi. The real play was that Rakeem and I would be checking into a casino hotel in Biloxi. We would have dinner, take a walk on the beach, and then head back to the hotel. Rakeem was a street dude, but he was sweet. He would always buy me things and take me nice places. I didn't ask where he got money from because my mom always told me to mind my business. All that mattered was that he treated me well, and I was officially about to become his woman and not his girl. Dinner was everything. We both ordered a steak and lobster. We got to sit outside overlooking the water, so the scenery was truly out of a movie. After dinner, I saw four waiters rushing to my table with an orange box and a cake with a candle on it. Rakeem whispered in my ear, "Happy almost 17th birthday, my love." I sat there smiling as they sang to me. It wasn't my birthday, but they didn't know that. Rakeem just wanted my day to be special, and special it was. My first time having sex was everything I thought it would be. He was gentle and sensual and made me feel like a queen that night. I never felt so good, and I hadn't felt so much love in a long time. He made me feel like nothing or no one else mattered. I practiced my sex moves I learned by twerking all week, but I forgot them all that night. I just laid there and enjoyed the show. Rakeem was amazing. I'm not sure if he was really that good or I was exaggerating because I had no one else to compare. The next day was fun. We woke up and went straight to the beach. We snapped it up a little for the gram. My mom knew I was in Biloxi. She just didn't know the reason, so I wasn't really worried about tagging my location. We made it back to the city about 4 o'clock, just in enough time to catch the end of the second line downtown. All the chicks would just stare as we walked by. Keem was known all over the city, and since he was a basketball star, everyone loved him. Since I went to St. Ben's, I really didn't have to worry about girls not liking me. My school was small, and most of us knew each other since we were like 5 and 6. I didn't have to experience other girls hating on me until I got with Rakeem. The girls uptown didn't like me, and the girls downtown didn't like me. Rakeem lived uptown, but he was raised mostly by his grandparents in the Florida Project. He would go back and forth between his grandparents and his parents, so he came up with people from all over the city. Everybody loved Keem, but it was me they seemed to hate. He thinks she's too much was the only reason I got. What does that even mean? What did I do to make people think I was too much? Chapter 8, Signing Day. Today is the day that we have been waiting for, College Signing Day. College Signing Day is simply the day that the senior ball players in school announced what colleges they were going to. Since Carver won the championship that year, all of the attention was on them. It was a really big deal for the school. It was like a pep rally. The night before, I gifted Rakeem with a pair of Alexander McQueen shoes. Even though they wore uniforms to school, I wanted my baby to be the flyest in the building. Keem was holding out for Kentucky. That was the school he liked the best. He visited the campus and felt like they would be the best choice for him. But as of 11:30 a.m., he hadn't received any calls. Keem was worried, but knew that he could at least fall back on Kansas, his second choice. The basketball team actually started calling him Country Boy Keem because of his top picks. Right before 2 p.m., he got the call he was waiting for. It was the athletic director from the University of Kentucky calling to give him the news. King was so happy. He switched his undershirt so fast so that he could be ready to reveal his school of choice. Mom allowed me to miss school so that I could be there for King's big moment. She gave me freedom, but made me promise I wouldn't get pregnant. I told her that was a fair deal. She knew the life of a high school girl dating a star athlete, so she was lenient with me. That pep rally was super lit. All three seniors on the team were recruited by top-seeded Division One schools. This was huge for Carver. They were in the middle of building a top athletic program, which would set them apart from the other schools in the city. This would also help them to recruit more talented kids. When it was Keem's turn to announce everything, it got super quiet. Everyone wanted to know if he would earn his country boy name or if he changed his mind and decided on a big city school. Nope. He whipped out that blue hat and the crowd went wild. He took the mic and said, "I will be taking my talents to the University of Kentucky. I'm a wildcat, y'all." He kissed his mom, hugged his dad, and kissed me. Now I see what my mom was explaining to me. The feeling is euphoric. If I thought girls hated me before, they really hated me now. I started seeing things on the gram about me. People made burn pages and all. I never understood why, but at that point, I started to embrace it. I started posting stuff just to make them mad. Every time I went to Saks, I would tag my location. I would post pictures of me with my black Saks bags just to get their attention. Most of them knew I came from money, but they all hated me because they assumed Keem was buying me all of those things. I changed my handle to Why I Hate Honesty. Keem used to always laugh at me. He would say, "Why do you entertain them? You know you for me." Keem always knew what to say, and honestly, I couldn't wait to be Keem's forever girl. The plan was Keem would do his first year at Kentucky and I would apply so that I can join him the next year. We had it all planned out, but even the best plan in the world can't stop fate.